and welcome to this session where we'll be talking about Oman's business opportunities. My name is Ghassan Fadal bin Salim, the head of the economic stream at the National Employment Program, and it's a pleasure to be here today. So I will share my screen now and share with you the our presentation for today. So speaking of Oman's landscape business opportunities, and it's important for us to first understand the current trends when it comes to the Omani economy. Some of the Oman's general economic trends and the outlook that we're expecting. So looking at our economic trends, one of our driving forces and driving trends right now in the economy is diversification. And Oman being an oil and gas exporter and oil-based economy for the past 50 years or so, we have been looking into diversification and taking diversification seriously. We're looking into priority sectors that we're looking into promoting, and we will see that the Omani government has launched the National Diversification Program, Tanwi', which we will talk about in a bit. Another trend that we're looking at in the Omani economy right now is Oman's head and march towards renewable energy and driving and promoting renewable energy, and with an aim to produce 30% of the total energy in the form of renewable energy by 2030. That also is supported by His Majesty's commitment towards making Oman a net zero economy by 2050. When it comes to investment in infrastructure, Oman continues its investments in infrastructure heavily. We're looking into logistics. Oman becoming or wanting aiming to become an economic hub and a logistic hub in the region, provided we have the unique location that we have in between three major continents, in the middle of major trade routes and overseeing some of the important and sensitive trade routes and straits. So Oman is investing heavily in the infrastructure when it comes to logistics. We're talking about how not only ports, but we're also looking into investments into roads, the various forms of transport, related infrastructure and facilities, and to utilities. And there is also a move towards the railway project also. When it comes to foreign investment encouragement, Oman have worked in the past few years, since 2020 till now, into a lot of legal reforms to allow and facilitate for foreign investment to come in and flow into the country freely, and to facilitate and ease the process for foreign investors to come invest in Oman. Now, foreign investors are able to invest locally without the need of a local partner, reducing the barriers to entry and enhancing investment climate. Also, tourism development. One of the sectors that we're looking into is tourism. Oman is blessed with a diverse cultural heritage, natural sceneries, and a lot of long history that can be capitalized on into in the tourism industry. And we're also looking into promoting sustainable attraction and sustainable practice and sustainable tourism. When it comes to our continuing on the general economic trends, also technology and innovation, Oman is looking into, and one of the major drives that we're looking into right now is the drive towards digital transformation for the government. So the government is heavily involved and have embarked on a journey of digital transformation to digitalize most of the government services. And Oman has also invested in a number of technology parks, the primary of being the Knowledge Oasis Muscat, among others, and also few technology funds that support technology investments in the technology sector. When it comes to manufacturing, Oman is looking into expansion of the manufacturing sector, being one of the prime sectors, and especially the sectors driving employment, where it's an area of an interest for us. And Oman has invested in a number of free zones where a lot of production, manufacturing activities are happening, and we are looking into the expansion of these activities, and most probably looking into the going more into downstream activities and more complex manufacturing. When it comes to the support for small and medium enterprises, one of the SMEs are the backbone of economies around the world, and it is crucial for us to ensure that sustainability to boost employment by supporting the SMEs and supporting small and medium enterprises in the country, and supporting entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial activities in order to provide resilience and sustainability into the economy. When it comes to social and economic reform, Oman has been working on a number of various initiatives and activities regarding social and economic reform, all aligned with the Vision Oman 2040, with the aim of having not only economic diversification and sustainability, but also ensuring the adequate and noble lifestyle for Omanis and citizens and residents of Oman. This includes also reforms in the labor market and labor laws to ensure fair labor laws for locals and non-locals alike. When it comes to long-term economic vision, Oman Vision 2040 has been outlined, and is aiming to collect all these initiatives under in the aim of achieving the Oman Vision 2040, and which among it is economic diversification, focusing on renewable energy, technology, tourism, and the drive towards sustainable growth for Oman and its citizens. So moving on from our general economic trends, that takes us into looking at Oman's national programs, which are the programs that will enable and accelerate the implementation of the Vision Oman 2040 as the main umbrella which all the economic activities and economic trends are taking place under. So the Oman Vision 2040 implementation unit and the Omani government has launched a number of national programs with the aim of facilitating and accelerating the implementation of the major elements of the Oman and the major pillars of the Oman Vision 2040 aims and goals and objectives. Among these programs, starting with the National Program for Investment, Exports and Exports Development, NASDEHR, which is a program focused on investment, fostering investment ties between Oman and the locally and globally and global communities, creating a competitive investment environment. The second program is the National Program for Physical Sustainability and Financial Sector Development, Istidama. This program is looking more into reinforcing the general budget and enhancing the financial sector to support the Vision Oman 2040 and to facilitate better and suitable financing options for businesses and investors coming into the country. The Government Digital Transformation Program is aimed and responsible for enabling the government sector to provide high-quality smart services and improve digital infrastructure, fostering a distinct digital experience for users, and to enable the digital transformation across the government sector. While the National Employment Program, Tashghil, where I come from, is aimed at managing the supply and demand or creating a balance between supply and demand in the job market, supply in the form of job seekers and employees coming into the market, and demand in the form of jobs and demand on employees in the market. And among our role is bridging the knowledge gap and skill gap between the graduates and the need in the market, and also providing sustainable job opportunities across Oman through the various sectors and the different value chains. While the National Program for Economic Diversification Tanwi' is the program focused on enhancing and planning the production, exportation, and diversifying trade partners, and in order to increase investments in high value sectors and contributing to the diversification of Oman's economy, looking at major and priority sectors, which we will be talking about in a bit, and looking at what are the master plans for these sectors, and facilitating the use of economic clusters in order to support the trade and the relationship between the inputs and outputs of each value chain. Finally, the National Program for Carbon Neutrality, Oman taking the drive towards Oman becoming a net zero carbon dioxide emissions in Oman by 2050. This program is looking at promoting environmental sustainability and aligning with the global environment goals in order to establish local practices across the sectors in order to achieve this goal. Moving into our priority sectors and the Oman Vision 2040, these are the priority sectors that we're looking into and we'll be exploring briefly, and looking into the general trends in these sectors. And we're looking at the renewable energy sector, the technology and innovation sector, tourism sector, manufacturing, logistics, mining, and fisheries and agriculture, or the food security sector. So when looking into these sectors, we'll be exploring the value chain opportunities and these priority sectors. And when it comes to each sector, there's a short synopsis of what's happening with these sectors. So on the renewable energy front, the value chain stages include the resource extraction from solar, wind, and hydro into infrastructure development, energy generation, distribution, and consumption. When it comes to Oman, aiming this sector being, we're investing heavily in the sector and looking into the expansion of it with the aim of reaching 30% renewable energy by 2030. Oman we consider this sector to be relatively new to the country, and this is considered as a greenfield with an opportunity, or brownfield with a lot of opportunities for expansion with the government backing. Oman is aiming also to become a net zero economy by 2050. So we're looking at around 25 years from now of work or potential growth that we will have to work towards into achieving the net zero targets. There are major investment in green hydrogen production. There are a number of major deals that have been signed recently into investment into green hydrogen under Energy Development Oman and Hydrom, one of the subsidiaries of Energy Development Oman. The value chain includes development, implementation, integration into the existing energy grid, as Oman is looking into adding to the energy resource in the country to make also this grid and energy available for investors who are willing to come to Oman with competitive pricing. As of now, our pricing in Oman for energy is considered competitive compared to Europe and various locations in the world, and this is an attractive feature for many investors. Moving into the technology and innovation sector, this value chain, includes research and development technology, production, commercialization, and end user application of technologies. The trend in Oman is Oman's investment authority, the government investment arm, is investing in technology projects including IT, programming, engineering solutions, and blockchain, and have created SBUs and SBUs in these various areas, and technology is one of the areas where they're interested in supporting. YA has joined an investment of around $214 million in Group 14 Technologies, looking at battery materials and battery materials manufacturing, which is a battery materials manufacturing company in the US. And this is facilitating the investment into EVs and electric vehicles. Oman has established a long back Oman Technology Fund, which is looking at funding tech projects in the country, and we're looking at increasing the output of and the number of tech companies in the country. When it comes to tourism, a value chain includes destination development, tourism, infrastructure, travel services, and hospitality. When it comes to the trend in the tourism sector, one of the major projects, and this is a sample project among many others, the Sustainable Tourism ET and Yankat Sustainable Cities or Sustainable City Project. This is a $1 billion worth project, which is under development right now, and and some of the units are being promoted at the currently, and at a unique area of that's unique to tourism and facing the Oman Sea. There's also the multi-facility entertainment destination in Barka, and among other already existing facilities that are there. There is a trend moving into providing, and the trend right now is looking into providing also services and entertainment businesses in order to facilitate the other activities within the value chain. And there is a lot of major potential for service-based activities within the tourism sector. Also, Oman is aiming to capitalize on its diverse heritage in nature and landscape, and promoting sustainable practices in tourism. Moving on to the manufacturing sector. When it comes to manufacturing, we're looking at the raw material sourcing, production, quality control, and distribution. In general, Oman is blessed with a lot of raw materials that are important to manufacturing, which we'll see that many of them come from the mining industry, which we would explore next. However, sourcing is also enabled through our logistics network and ports that have been developed. When it comes to trends, Oman is looking into diversifying into various industries like petrochemicals, aluminum, and steel production. Not only that, we're also looking into food security as one of the sectors that we're looking into expanding into, among other more complex, more sophisticated products in the country. The opportunities exist in downstream and complex manufacturing, as mentioned. Duqm Free Zone, which has a cumulative investment of around 6 billion Omani riyals. That's around at least 13 billion US dollars of investment by the end of 2023. And the purpose of the Duqm Free Zone, of course, was to become the manufacturing hub of Oman, with a port directly overlooking the Indian Ocean, and in order to facilitate exports. The value chain focuses on sustainability and integration into the global supply chain in the manufacturing sector. When it comes to the logistics sector, when it comes to logistics, Oman has heavily invested in logistics and infrastructure. The Shahar Free Zone, Duqm Free Zone, Muscat Airport City, these are among the projects that are existing and upcoming, and Shahar Port and Salalah Port. And these ports, some of these ports have had witnessed world records when it comes to, for example, Salalah Port has a world record on containers loading and offloading. the Suhar port is one of the few ports in the region that can host some of the the major container ships, and especially when it comes to iron pellets and iron ore exports. When it comes to railway projects, there is a railway project underway connecting Oman with the UAE. This will facilitate trade and export, whether from UAE manufacturers or local manufacturers exporting to the UAE, and will drive the cost down of exports. Also, total investment, the opportunities for the first and second phase of transport and logistics, as per the Ministry of Transport, Oman has spent around 1.6 billion in the first and second phase of transport and logistic development and investment in the past year and a half. Mining, when it comes to mining, exploration, extraction, processing, and export. So basically looking into the upstream and downstream. A lot of Oman's activities in the sector has been for a long time focused more on the upstream part of the sector. So looking at exploration and extraction. We're moving now into, and there is a direction to move more into downstream activities, from processing all the way to manufacturing around the materials that are there, and export after that. Some of the trends and things that are worth mentioning: Oman is the #1 gypsum exporter to the world. In 2021, Oman has exported also around $2.27 billion in iron ore, making it the 8th largest exporter of iron ore in the world, as per OEC World. Extracting valuable minerals like copper, chromite, and gypsum is happening in Oman, among other valuable minerals. Oman is also, in recent years, the Omani government has invested and created the Minerals Development Oman as an operator for the mining industry, and the government is moving towards concession base and better regulation of the sector. So companies that are interested to, and operators interested in coming into Oman for extraction of resources will be looking into having concession agreements with the government. When it comes to fisheries, our final sector, fisheries and agriculture and food security. So we're looking at production, harvesting as the first step, and then for processing and distribution, retail. When it comes to trend focus, there's a focus on sustainable practices and enhancing food security for the country. Fish and shrimp farming, some of the projects that are existing are in fish and shrimp farming, and there has been investment, and more opportunities exist in fish and shrimp farming, tuna fattening also in large floating cages, and factories for canning and packaging of marine products. Oman is also the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries and Water Resources have announced their plans and the initial phases of preparing Najd in the southern part of Oman, then the Najd Agriculture City as a cluster, which is one of the projects also spinning off from Tanweeh, the National Program for Economic Diversification. And this project is set to focus on using and making it a hub for agriculture, from agriculture production, harvesting, and further processing. The total fish exports of Oman. So the Sultanate of Oman is considered the second Arab nation in the value and quantity of fish exports. And in 2022, our fisheries exports crossed 281,000 tons of fish, generating around 140 million in revenue to Oman. And this is a short summary of some of the trends across the sectors, and showcasing some of the opportunities that suppliers from around the world might be interested, and investors would be interested to come into the sector to join us. And we welcome all to join us. This will be the last part of my presentation, and be happy to receive any questions, if any, directed to us. Thank you. I see, and see positive interactions from the attendees. And I thank you again for the invite. Thank Business Gateways for the invite to be a speaker and a presenter as part of the JeM Oman, the JSRS eMarketplace. And again, a final word, we welcome suppliers to join us and to explore the Omani market as an option, as there's a wealth and a number of opportunities that exist that can be capitalized on. And Oman is working as recently as over the past few years, worked heavily into a lot of reform, especially when it comes to businesses and facilitating doing business for international partners. So I thank you again, and thank the team at Business Gateways for the opportunity, and we'll be looking to meet you all soon, or in Oman, or meet you in future events. So looking forward to stay in touch with all of you. So you can follow us on LinkedIn as per our profile. Thank you all. I see that there is a question in the chat, which will I'll be answering quickly. Is there any program to support Riyadh trading companies to partner up with ministries? Basically, Riyadh, which is basically the special category of SMEs or small business or entrepreneurs, small medium enterprises, entrepreneurs who are full-time on the businesses. So in general, there are a number of policies in the country that support SMEs, especially entrepreneurs who are fully dedicated to running their businesses, especially the local ones. And there are special programs of support and programs of, and there are targets from the government that are set by the government for startups, especially Riyadh cardholders, to gain up to 10% out of government sourcing. So there are a number of these exceptions and programs that are put in place, and in order to support these businesses, and this is part of the in-country value initiative, and in order to develop the local content and local businesses in Oman. So and this is an opportunity, if anyone would like to ask any further questions, I'm available to answer any of the questions. You're welcome. Thank you all. I think this I've been signaled that this is around the end of our presentation. Thank you all, and wishing you all the best. And see you soon.